The Chicago Bears have been hit hard with injuries the last few seasons. Back in 2016, the Bears placed a total of 19 players on injured reserve, including big names like Jay Cutler, Kyle Long, Kevin White and Danny Trevathan. Last season the organization put more than 14 players on injured reserve. After just 1 week during the 2017 season, the Bears already had 7 players on injured reserve and had released Chris Prosinski Lamarr Houston, Carey and Rueben Randle all off injured reserve with injury settlements. During the owners' meetings during the 2017 offseason, General Manager Ryan Pace noted the team needed to make improvements when it came to the health of their players. "We've met multiple times with a lot of people," Pace said, via Adam Hogue of WGN Radio. "Those are good discussions when everybody kinda lets down their guard down and we just kinda put everything on the table. I value when people do that. We have made some tweaks and some adjustments, without going into specifics, but it could be some scheduling things, some training camp things, things we are doing in the weight room, things we are doing in the training room, just dialing things to adapt. And not just putting our heads in the sand and saying, bad luck. We made some adjustments and tweaks that we are all supportive of and we all had input on. We are excited about the outcome of that." After firing head coach John Fox, the Bears also made major changes to their training staff this offseason. Chicago let go of strength and conditioning coach Jason George, assistant strength and conditioning coach Rick Perry and head trainer Nate Bresk. Jason Loscalzo was hired as the team's new head strength and conditioning coach, with Andre Tucker serving as the head athletic trainer. Heading into the thick of the 2018 offseason, the Bears once again have a lot of players returning from injuries. Look below to see who is coming back after suffering a season-ending injury last year. Jordan Morgan's injury last offseason was a little bit under the radar last year. The team's 5th-round pick, he suffered a shoulder injury during the offseason and the team stashed him away on injured reserve all last season. Morgan now joins a stacked offensive line room that has a lot of talent on the interior of the offensive line. He will be battling with the likes of Kyle Long, James Daniels, Eric Kush, Earl Watford and Ron Espresso for a spot on the roster. During his time at Kutztown, Morgan won a bevy of awards, including being named the team's MVP in both 2014 and 2016, not an easy feat for an offensive lineman. He was a 4-year starter at left tackle but lacks the athleticism to play the position at the NFL level. At 6 feet 3 inches and 309 pounds, he has tremendous size to play on the interior in the NFL. Strengths include impressive bend and footwork for the position. He also possesses long arms and rarely had issues against pass rushers when playing left tackle. This biggest challenge for him will be proving he can handle playing on the interior after spending his collegiate career on the outside. Isaiah Irving did enough during the preseason last year as an undrafted free agent to earn a spot on Chicago's practice squad. He eventually got the call up during the middle of the season and appeared in 7 games. During those games he recorded 5 tackles before he went down with a knee injury in early December. At San Jose State he appeared in 47 games with a total of 37 starts. He ended his career with 139 tackles, 22.5 tackles for loss and 11 sacks. His strongest showing was as a senior when he recorded 45 tackles, 11 tackles for loss and 7 sacks with 1 forced fumble. Irving flashed during last offseason and will have a chance to earn a spot on the 53-man roster given the team's lack of proven depth on the roster at the position. The life of a long snapper is typically one that comes and goes without a lot of fanfare. Patrick Scales proved to be a reliable snapper for Chicago in 2016 and returned last offseason to retain that role. He suffered a torn ACL in the third preseason game of the year and missed the entire season. Chicago liked him enough to bring him back this season. Prior to joining the Bears, he had stints with the Baltimore Ravens, Miami Dolphins, New York Jets, Tampa Buccaneers and the Ravens again before getting a chance with Chicago. Long snappers do not get a lot of praise, but Scales is as solid as they come and will be a welcomed addition back. This is a reoccurring theme for former Bears first-round pick Kevin White. The former West Virginia standout missed his entire rookie season in 2015. Backed that up in 2016 by only appearing in 4 games before missing the rest of the season. Last year he started the season opener against the Atlanta Falcons and then missed the remainder of the year after breaking his shoulder blade. In his 5 career games he has caught 21 passes for 193 yards without any touchdowns. For White, the 2018 offseason is yet another opportunity for him to prove himself. This time around it is going to be much harder to make the roster with so many new additions at the wide receiver position. Eric Kush entered last offseason with a strong chance at starting with Kyle Long's rehab up in the air. Unfortunately for him, he tore his hamstring and missed the entire season. A 6th-round pick of the Kansas City Chiefs in 2013, Kush spent time with the Chiefs, Buccaneers, Carolina Panthers, Houston Texans and then the St. Louis, Los Angeles Rams. He was let go by the Rams before the 2016 season and landed in Chicago. He appeared in 8 games with 4 starts for the Bears that season and played well along the line of scrimmage. He stands to be the team's top reserve offensive lineman this season and offers flexibility with his ability to play both guard spots and center. Leonard Floyd went down in late November against the Detroit Lions when his leg collided awkwardly with cornerback Kyle Fuller. He suffered injuries to his MCL and PCL, but luckily he did not injure his ACL. Chicago then placed him on injured reserve for the remainder of the season. Chicago moved up in the 2016 NFL Draft to take Floyd with the 9th overall pick. That season he started 12 games, recording 33 tackles, 7 sacks, 1 safety, 2 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble and 1 touchdown. This past season he only saw action in 10 games. During that time he recorded 34 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 1 safety and 2 pass deflections. Following the departures of Willie Young and Pernell McPhee, Floyd takes over as the leader of the outside linebacker corps for the Bears this season. Kyle Long has finished the last 2 seasons on injured reserve. Back in late December he laid out a timeline of his injuries on Twitter. He said in his 4th season he tore his labrum in the preseason and opted to play the season with a plan to fix the labrum after the year concluded. Later that season he suffered the ankle injury and had to undergo surgery and rehabbing, meaning he pushed back the labrum surgery. He said he pushed himself to get back for the 2017 season, but because of the labrum injury having never been addressed, it forced his neck to become an issue. Long has been a key part of Chicago's offensive line when healthy. A 3-time Pro Bowler, Long is among the best guards in the league when he stays healthy. Allen Robinson suffered an ACL injury in the Week 1 opener of the Jacksonville Jaguars last season and missed the remainder of the year. Chicago acted quickly to sign him to a 3-year deal this offseason. Chicago is now taking it slowly with the young wideout. Second-round selection of the Jaguars back in 2014 out of Penn State. In his rookie season, he caught 48 passes for 548 yards with 2 touchdowns in 10 games with 8 starts. Then had his breakout season in 2015, catching 80 passes for 1,400 yards with 14 touchdowns while starting all 16 games. He also averaged 17.5 yards per catch that season and was named to the Pro Bowl. NFL defenses then began shading more coverage to his side of the field in 2016. That season, in 16 starts, Robinson caught 73 passes for 883 yards with 6 touchdowns. Before going down with his injury last year, he caught 1 pass for 17 yards against the Houston Texans.